here with Craig Coker, and Craig is a member of the Virginia Recycling Association, and you've been a member for over 15 years. Tell us why is it so important to be part of the Virginia Recycling Association?
Well, my specialty is in the field of organic waste recycling, more so than conventional recyclable materials, which is an emerging threshold and an emerging new program in the world of recycling. So there's a need for education and promotion of that particular kind of recycling in communities that are just doing traditional fiber, metal, glass, commodity type recycling. So it's important to me to work with a group like VRA that could promote and educate and reach out to various municipal people, to solid waste authorities, and help them learn more about how to deal with food waste, how to deal with yard waste, how to deal with other forms of organic materials that are being landfilled, because those organic materials create instant methane in a landfill. You will never capture the methane from a decomposing apple core in your landfill, because that apple core will decompose years before you have a landfill gas collection system.
Right.
So it is the most problematic material to put into a landfill from a carbon equivalent or a methane generation perspective. So it's critical to recycle that material.
Now, I know when you talk about commercial waste, especially restaurants, is it something like, I think the statistic is something like 40% of their solid waste is actually organic material from the restaurant. And that, when you take that out of the solid waste stream, is so incredibly cost effective.
Right.
Because you're reducing that volume by 40%, my goodness.
Right.
And then it goes into composting, and it has a whole other life. It's one of the most effective forms of recycling.
Exactly. But one of the problems we have in the industry is that if I'm a restaurant owner and Monica has a food waste diversion program and I sign up and pay her to divert my food waste, which is what I should do as the restaurant owner, I still have this big dumpster behind my restaurant that the waste hauler is going to still pick up every week, even though it's now a third full instead of 2/3 full. He's going to charge me the same amount per pull, same amount to dispose. So we need to also work on the other side of the coin, that for those who do divert, that the solid waste infrastructure shrinks and is collected less often, because you don't need to. You don't have that putrescible material in the dumpster. You don't need to pull it every week or twice a week or whatever. So we've got two sides of the coin to work on. We're focused right now on the diversion side because that's such a new endeavor for so many people. But we also have to look at the other side to make sure that for commercial establishments in particular, that it doesn't cost more.
But you know, it's really interesting. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, my mom is a very avid gardener, and composting has always been part of our life as far as our home was considered. But people normally think of composting as something they do at home. They don't really think of it from a commercial perspective, and that is such an incredible volume of material. And think of all the things that you can do with that compostable material. I mean, it goes into landscaping. I mean, what's the end result of your composting?
Well, it's a soil amendment that makes soil healthy. Healthy soils mean healthy plants, be they an azalea bush in a garden, turf grass in a lawn, a corn crop in a farm field, or an environmental restoration project like a strip line restoration or a brownfield restoration. Every time you need to make soil healthy, you have to add some form of organic matter to bring that soil health back to life. So that's the built-in market. Now, within that bigger picture, the majority of it goes to landscaping.
It's amazing. You know, you've got this is environmental stewardship at its best, because what you're doing contributes straight back into the ecosystem.
Right.
It's not just the plants, it's also the life that feeds off those plants and pollinators and everything else that goes with it.
Right.
So it's a really essential part of what we do. It is recycling at its best.
It's also a climate change net benefit because the compost you add back to the soil grows more robust plant life, so you sequester more CO2 out of the atmosphere by the virtue of those plants growing more vigorously. So it becomes a net carbon benefit. Not only are you avoiding methane emissions from landfilling, you are also sucking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and turning it into plant cell material.
So it gives us air.
Right.
So we can breathe, which is incredible. It's an incredible form of recycling that I think people really don't register how important it is to us on a daily basis and to our lives, which is fantastic.
And that's exactly the kind of message groups like VRA are so effective at putting out there in front of people.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, how do you educate the public? I mean, do you have any programs with your company that allows people to learn more about composting?
I do a lot of training of people in the industry to teach them how to make better compost. And so that's really been my focus from a training and outreach standpoint. There are people far more skilled than I at the world of outreach to the general public. But from my perspective, I find that training people how to make good compost properly, how to run a large-scale facility, how to design it, where to put it, those are the areas I've had the greatest success in my career from an outreach standpoint.
It's fantastic. It's incredible to hear how important this is as far as our lives is concerned. And I'm so grateful to have you here with the VRA. It's
Thank you.
wonderful. How do we reach you?
You can reach me by email at ccoker@cokercompost.com, or you can call me on my cell phone at 540-874-5168.
You're going to have a lot of calls.
That's fine.
That's great. Thank you, Craig. It's very nice to talk to you. Thank you.